Hey, Jeremy and Sierra. We just want to kind of like talk to you guys. And you guys have been married 10 years. We've been married going on almost 45 years now. So kind of like just give us an idea.
I was a childhood bride.
So anyway, with that interruption, okay, but she was obviously a good childhood groom as well too. But what has kept you guys together even after 10 years, knowing that so much has happened in relationships today in the year 2022? What's kept you guys together?
You want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. Well, I'll say I haven't really have no reason not to. I would say that's. I think for so far it's been pretty easy. I know a lot of people have that kind of long rough patch. I hear people say at one point start feeling like roommates. We haven't really had that. And I'm knock on wood, I pray it never comes, but it's just been easy going for the most part. So I haven't had a reason kind of to think maybe we want to do something else, or we haven't had a reason not to do it for 10 years, which is good for me. And that's also been good. You know, we started out, we were young, I was 16. So we've gotten to kind of know each other and grow together. So wasn't surprised by anything. Yes, it was challenging. You know, he changed, I've changed, getting to know each other because we were kids. We were kids when we first started. So that was probably the most challenging thing. But just to have somebody that actually knows you and, you know the challenges that you're going to and watching you evolve and go through those different stages has made it rewarding to get us to that 10 years.
Okay. What about you, Jeremy?
I could agree with what she said, but I also could throw on something that actually my grandma told me years ago that always replays in the back of my head. It was just a random day walking past, and my grandma just told me, she was like, I watch how she treats you, and I'm gonna tell you right now, there's never gonna be another woman that's gonna love you like she loves you. Mm-hmm. So you better not do nothing to mess that up. And like that's been in my head, like, continuously, because like, and this was even before we were married. And it was just like one of those things, like, of course, sometimes, you would think, oh, is the grass green on the other side. Like I said, this was before we even got married. And it was always playing like, okay, if my grandma, she was married to my grandfather and, 50 something years until he passed, and she calls it out and she sees it. It was like, okay, so obviously she can see something, and the way that we connect with each other that I might not have at the moment. Okay. But as we grew together, like she said, we started dating when we were in high school. Okay. As our relationship matured, adding kids to it, it was one of those things like, all right, this is, my best friend. I could do life with my best friend.
Okay.
You said, before I answer the question, you said something that's so important. I think so many couples become lovers before they become friends. Mm-hmm. And you made a point of saying he was my friend or she was my friend before we actually became more intimate and got to know each other better. And that's always, I think, an error. And so when you do get the rough patch, you remember this is not my enemy, this is my friend, mm-hmm. and we're growing together. So I thought that was a great point you made. What's kept us together almost 45 years?
Yeah.
It's ironic because Pastor Meeks had discovered us being such a dysfunctional couple 40-something years ago. Mm-hmm. And he worked with Thomas and I think we were the first couple that he literally counseled. I think he's been the last one almost because we were a hot mess. It's probably why we had the ministry today. He said, if God can bless the two of them, God can do anything, I know. And I remember telling him many times when we'd have a debate and he was the only person I could talk to, and or Thomas, and I would hang up on him often. Yes, I hung up on the pastor, Senator Reverend James T. Meeks many times, and I'd say I want a divorce. No, you don't. Yes, I do. Click. But slowly I began to see what he said, because in the emotion you say you want a divorce, in the emotion, but when you get all those factors worked out, or maybe I don't. And so I thank God for him seeing something in us that we didn't necessarily see in each other, especially seeing leaders in us. But I think that when I look back, my great-grandmother was married until death parted her and my great-grandfather and my grandmother and my mom and dad. And so that's all I have. My legacy is my family being married until death parted them. Now, did I see all marriages that were the best? No, but that's kind of all I know. And so I think that's been what's helped me together, though I think I probably wanted out more than he has. And it always comes back in my head, if God could do it for my great-grandparents, or as far as back as I can remember, surely he could make a way for the two of us.